Hello and welcome to our channel. We're really glad you joined us today, and we truly hope you'll enjoy this exciting journey into the colorful, chaotic, and surprisingly heartfelt world of Despicable Me 3. This movie may look like pure animated fun on the surface, but beneath the jokes, explosions, and minion madness lies a story about identity, family, and the choices that define who we become. Whether you're watching this film again on Netflix or experiencing it for the very first time today, this video is designed to help you see Despicable Me 3 from a fresh perspective, one that goes beyond the laughs and dives into what makes this movie resonate with audiences of all ages across the USA and beyond. And if this piece of work inspires you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and share it with your family and friends. Your support truly encourages us to keep creating more cinematic journeys like this one. Now imagine this for a moment. What if the greatest challenge of your life wasn't an evil mastermind, a world-threatening device, or a high-stakes mission, but meeting someone who looks exactly like you and represents everything you could have been? Despicable Me 3 opens the door to that question in the most unexpected and entertaining way. At the same time, it introduces one of the most unforgettable villains in modern animated cinema, former 1980s child star who never emotionally left the decade. With his neon colors, shoulder pads, and synth-heavy soundtrack, Balthazar Brat isn't just a villain, he's a walking time capsule. A hilarious satire of fame, nostalgia, and the danger of being trapped in the past. From the very first moments, the film pulls us into a world where action, comedy, and clever cultural references collide in a way that feels both fun and familiar. But this movie isn't only about villains and spectacle. At its heart, Despicable Me 3 is about Gru, standing at a crossroads in his life. Fired from the anti-villain league, questioning his purpose, and suddenly confronted with a long-lost twin brother, Gru is forced to look inward and ask himself a difficult question. Is he truly done being a villain? Or is that part of him still alive? Meanwhile, the minions, those lovable, chaotic icons of modern animation, set off on their own journey, creating a parallel story filled with absurd humor, musical moments, and pure entertainment that kids love and adults secretly enjoy just as much. Throughout this video, we'll explore how Despicable Me 3 balances its high-energy comedy with meaningful themes, how its characters evolve, and why this film continues to work so well as a family favorite on Netflix. We'll talk about the emotional beats, the visual creativity, and the nostalgic charm that make this movie more than just another animated sequel. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this deep dive into a film that proves even in a world of supervillains and minions, the most powerful force of all is family. Thanks for watching, and let's begin our journey into Despicable Me 3. By the time Despicable Me 3 begins, the franchise has already taken audiences on a remarkable journey. What started as the story of a cold-hearted supervillain stealing the moon slowly transformed into something much more emotional and universal, a story about love, redemption, and unexpected family. In the first film, Gru wasn't just fighting heroes, he was fighting his own loneliness. The arrival of Margot, Edith, and Agnes didn't just soften him, it redefined him. The second film pushed that transformation even further by introducing Lucy Wilde and the Anti-Villain League, giving Gru a chance to channel his old skills towards something good. By the end of Despicable Me 2, Gru had seemingly left his villainous past behind for good. Despicable Me 3 opens at a moment when Gru believes his life is stable and settled. He has a family, a job, and a sense of purpose. But stability, as this franchise repeatedly reminds us, is often temporary. When Gru and Lucy fail to capture a flashy new villain, Balthazar Brat, they are fired from the Anti-Villain League. This moment is crucial because it strips Gru of the identity he thought he had earned. Once again, he's left asking himself who he is without a role, without validation, and without a clear mission. This setup places Despicable Me 3 in a very interesting position within the franchise. Unlike the earlier films, which focused heavily on Gru becoming good, this installment explores whether that goodness is permanent or whether identity is something more complicated. It also shifts the tone slightly, leaning more into spectacle, comedy, and parallel storylines, while still holding on to the emotional core that made audiences fall in love with these characters in the first place. For American audiences especially, this kind of story resonates deeply. The idea of losing a job, questioning your purpose and wondering if you've made the right life choices is incredibly relatable. Despicable Me 3 wraps those adult anxieties in bright animation, slapstick humor, and minion chaos, making it accessible for kids while quietly speaking to parents watching alongside them. This film doesn't ask, "Can Gru be good?" Instead, it asks something more mature. Can Gru stay true to himself while still moving forward? That question becomes the foundation for everything that follows, setting the stage for twins, villains, minions, and one of the most identity-driven stories the franchise has ever told. At its core, Despicable Me 3 is a story about disruption. Just when Gru believes his past is behind him, the universe throws multiple curveballs, his way each one, testing a different part of who he is. The central plot begins with the introduction of Balthazar Brat, a former child star from the 1980s whose career ended abruptly when he hit puberty. Unable to move on, Brat reinvents himself as a supervillain, clinging desperately to the decade that once made him famous. His crimes are theatrical, nostalgic, and absurd, making him both ridiculous and strangely fascinating. Gru and Lucy's failure to stop Brat leads directly to their firing from the anti-villain league, which instantly shifts the power dynamic of the story. Gru is no longer officially good. He's unemployed, frustrated, and questioning whether giving up villainy was ever truly his choice or just something he did for others. This internal conflict is what gives the film its emotional weight. Then comes the biggest twist. Gru discovers he has a long-lost twin brother named Drew. Raised in luxury, confident, and openly enthusiastic about villainy, Drew represents an alternate version of Gru's life, one where ambition was never suppressed. The reunion doesn't just add humor, it introduces a philosophical conflict. Gru sees what he might have been, while Drew sees what he wants to become. As the story progresses, multiple threads unfold simultaneously. Gru is pulled back toward villainy through Drew's influence. Lucy struggles with fitting into her role as a mother. The minions, unhappy with Gru's refusal to return to villainy, abandon him entirely and set off on their own chaotic adventure. Each storyline reflects a different response to change, loss, and uncertainty. What makes the narrative effective is how these threads mirror one another. Gru is tempted by his past. Lucy feels she's failing in the present. The minions reject change altogether, and Brat, the villain, is completely trapped in his past. Together, these arcs create a cohesive story about time, identity, and growth wrapped in explosive action sequences and non-stop comedy. The introduction of Drew is the emotional centerpiece of Despicable Me 3. On the surface, he's played for laughs, blonde hair, extravagant fashion, over-the-top enthusiasm, but thematically, he's far more significant. Drew isn't just Gru's twin. He's a living reflection of the road Gru didn't take. Raised in wealth and encouraged to embrace villainy, Drew represents the life Gru might have lived if circumstances had been different. This dynamic allows the movie to explore the concept of identity in a surprisingly thoughtful way. Are we defined by our choices or by our environment? Gru and Drew share the same DNA, yet they couldn't be more different. Gru is cautious, reserved, and shaped by struggle. Drew is impulsive, optimistic, and shaped by privilege. Their interactions highlight how life experiences not just personality shape who we become. As the brothers reconnect, Drew's admiration for Gru's villain past begins to chip away at Gru's resolve. For the first time, Gru feels celebrated for the part of himself he's been trying to suppress. This temptation is powerful because it's emotional, not just practical. Drew doesn't want Gru to be evil, he wants him to be authentic, at least in his own eyes. Their relationship evolves from novelty to rivalry to genuine connection. Drew isn't a villain, and Gru isn't a hero in the traditional sense. By the end of their arc, both brothers learn that identity isn't about rejecting the past or clinging to it, it's about choosing which parts of yourself to carry forward. Balthazar Brat is one of the most creative villains in the Despicable Me franchise. Unlike previous antagonists, driven by power or revenge, Brat is motivated by nostalgia. He's a character who quite literally cannot move on. Every aspect of his identity, from his music to his fashion to his weaponry, is frozen in the 1980s. For American audiences, Brat is both hilarious and symbolic. He represents the darker side of nostalgia, the idea that longing for the past can prevent growth. His villainy isn't fueled by hatred. but by resentment over lost fame. In that way, he becomes a cautionary figure, showing what happens when identity becomes trapped in a single moment of success. Brat's exaggerated personality, paired with his retro soundtrack and dance-fueled fight scenes, makes him unforgettable. But beneath the humor lies a surprisingly relevant message. Refusing to evolve can turn nostalgia into a prison. No Despicable Me movie would be complete without the Minions. And in this film, their storyline takes center stage in a completely different way. When Gru refuses to return to villainy, the Minions feel betrayed. For them, villainy isn't immoral, it's tradition. Their decision to leave Gru is played for laughs, but it also reinforces the film's central theme: change is hard, even for the most loyal companions. Their prison adventure is pure slapstick comedy, filled with musical numbers, visual gags, and absurd scenarios. Yet even here, there's emotional subtext. The Minions don't leave Gru because they hate him. They leave because they don't understand him anymore. Ultimately, their return symbolizes acceptance. They don't need Gru to be a villain. They need him to be himself. While Gru struggles with identity, Lucy faces her own challenge. Becoming a mother, her storyline focuses on insecurity, fear of failure, and the desire to belong. For parents watching, Lucy's journey is deeply relatable. She wants to be perfect, but learns that love, not perfection, is what truly matters. The girls each represent different stages of growth. Margot is maturing, Edith remains fearless, and Agnes continues to embody innocence. Together, they ground the film emotionally, reminding viewers what's truly at stake. Visually, Despicable Me 3 is vibrant, energetic, and unapologetically playful. The animation supports the story's themes, using color and movement to reflect emotional states. The 80s-inspired soundtrack reinforces Brat's character while adding rhythm to action scenes. In the end, Despicable Me 3 isn't about choosing between good and evil, it's about choosing balance. It's about understanding that your past doesn't define you, but it doesn't disappear either. For families, kids, and adults alike, that message is what gives the film lasting value. As Despicable Me 3 comes to its final moments, what truly lingers isn't just the explosive action, the colorful animation, or the non-stop laughs. It's the quiet realization of how far these characters have come. Beneath the surface of this bright, high-energy animated adventure lies a story that understands something deeply human. We are all shaped by where we come from, but we are defined by what we choose to do next. Gru's journey in this film isn't about becoming a hero or returning to villainy. It's about finding balance between the parts of himself he once tried to erase and the life he has built through love, family, and responsibility. Throughout the movie, we see Gru tested in ways he never expected, losing his job, facing his past, meeting a twin who represents an entirely different version of his life. Challen forces him to confront the question of identity, and the answer the film offers is refreshingly honest. You don't have to deny your past to grow beyond it. You don't have to abandon who you were to become who you were meant to be. Growth, as Despicable Me 3 shows us, is about understanding yourself fully and choosing the path that brings meaning, not just excitement. At the same time, the film reminds us that family is not defined by perfection. Lucy's journey into motherhood, the girls' emotional growth, and even the Minions' temporary rebellion all reflect the same truth. Relationships evolve, people change, and misunderstandings happen, but love is what brings everyone back together. The Minions, for all their chaos and comedy, ultimately return not because Gru becomes a villain again, but because they accept him as he is. That moment quietly reinforces the heart of the story. Loyalty isn't about sameness, it's about understanding. Even Balthazar Brat, with all his over-the-top villainy and 80s obsession, serves as a powerful contrast. He is a character, frozen in time, unable to let go of who he used to be. In many worlds, he represents the path Gru could have taken but didn't. And that contrast gives the film its final emotional weight. Moving forward doesn't mean forgetting the past. It means refusing to live inside it. Visually, musically, and emotionally, Despicable Me 3 delivers a cinematic experience that works on multiple levels. Kids laugh at the Minions and action-packed sequences, while adults recognize the deeper themes of purpose, identity, and family. That balance is what makes this movie such a strong rewatch on Netflix and the lasting part of the franchise's legacy. In the end, Despicable Me 3 reminds us that life doesn't always move in a straight line. Sometimes you lose your way. Sometimes you question who you are. But as long as you have people who love you and the courage to be honest with yourself, you can always find your way back home. Thank you so much for watching and spending your time with us on this cinematic journey into Despicable Me 3. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share it with your family and friends. Your support truly means the world to us and inspires us to bring you more stories, more films, and more deep dives like this one. Until next time, keep watching, keep exploring, and we'll see you in the next video.